What?
Hi, we might be finishing this one today.
I hope so.
And I don't mean the fan fiction, I mean the episode.
The new
There's
episode
always
of
a-
Doctor Who came out?
There's always a chance we might not finish this episode.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what happens when that happens. Anyway,
Just
we're
a headache for everyone involved.
Long story short, it involves pots and pans.
Also the destruction of several universes. Anyway, we're on chapter 17 of Why Fear Me, I'm Only an Elf. You know, that Shrek fan fiction.
Yeah, that Shrek hasn't been mentioned in for the past, 4 chapters?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Author's note.
Hasn't been a part of, he's been mentioned.
Yeah, author's note. Woo! Another chapter done in less than a month.
Well, to be
Still a better pace than anything I do.
Yeah, well, to be completely honest, yeah, I give like fan fiction and stuff like this shit, but they are much more consistent in their writing than just about anyone else I know, including myself, and therefore they have my respect. I may not like their story, but I respect them.
I've mostly just been hammering out plot stuff before I actually start writing.
Mm-hmm. That's called world building.
No, not the world building, the plot, making sure I have the direction in which the story is going. There is a difference between the two.
There doesn't have to be.
Yeah, there kinda is. They're two separate entities, Tom.
You can revolve the plot around world building. You can revolve world building around the plot. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Well, I've done the world building. What I'm working on is the plot, aka the character stuff, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Again, two different things.
In this instance, yes.
In most instances. Thank you, Platinum Gal, PCA student, and Kitty Cat Girly for reviewing. You deserve more desserts.
Just desserts.
Please no. Yeah, if you've been reading my OC section on my profile and started thinking, who the hell is this Canthar guy? Well, then somebody hasn't been reading their psalms. I apologize. I have been reading Kill 6 Billion Demons all day, and my mind is a bit loopy.
It's okay.
This chapter reveals a bit more about him. You haven't mentioned him once. In the story.
Not in the story, no.
The rest I'm saving for another chapter. Another smiley face. Please read and review. Again, needs character, needs story, needs a lot. Like, I couldn't tell you a single thing about your main character except for the fact that she's angry and she has a tragic backstory. That's not really character. That's just things.
Yeah, she's not even clumsy.
But yeah, like, we don't really know a lot about her as a person. That's the whole thing that's kind of important when you do writing, is you have to make it to where, like, the readers get to know the characters as people. Their wants, desires, needs, hobbies, fears, that sort of stuff. I don't know jack shit about your main character. And I have been reading this whole story. I think she likes to draw and she's vegetarian.
She likes to paint, not to draw.
She arty. Also, she wants to fuck Arthur. That's really it. That's not a character trait, really. Wants to jump X character's bones isn't literally the peak of character development. And you'll get any dessert you wish. I can't come up with a good joke for this.
What if I don't want dessert? What if I want the main course?
Then you should have eaten it already, Tom. You
I
don't
did.
get any dessert till after you eat your main course. What, you want another main course?
Yes, I'm still hungry.
You're the reason why America has the problems it does. Some of them.
When I slipped inside, I walked among rows of books, gazing carefully at each of their titles. As I neared the end of one long row,
50 Shades of Grey. Found it.
a leather-backed, untitled book caught my interest. I pulled it out and gazed at the front, immediately recognizing the lettering as words in the ancient language.
I see you found the Necronomicon. It's a great read. Although everyone who's read it so far has run away screaming. I never understand why. Dave?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the section on Canthar. And her like OC section on her whatever the fuck.
Okay.
My only
you
response
found it?
is she's lying. He's not on here.
Well, we're getting ready to learn more, so...
Instead, she has an OC for Hetalia Axis Powers.
Is it another country? What?
It's Shinopa Hiwihuti.
Who the fuck is that?
Shinopa Hiwihuti is actually a reworked version of Native America, the personification of the Native American peoples of the U.S. and Canada. Native America is who I will be talking about here.
That is several different nations.
There's also a character for World of Warcraft. And if I scroll down, she also has an Undertale fanfiction. So yeah, where the fuck is Canthar?
Control F. See if you can find it that way.
I have KAN. It leads to nothing. I think she fucking butchered Canthar for her Hetalia fanfiction.
I'm still fucking buggered about that. God.
Also, I'm going to read you the synopsis for the Hetalia fanfiction.
Oh no.
What happens when Shinopa, a young girl, witnesses her mother's murder and literally runs into everyone's favorite Italian? How will he cope when he suddenly finds himself playing guardian to the sweet but scared little girl? At least Germany's here to help.
That is the most tone-deaf thing I have ever heard.
Also, he's not my favorite Italian, thank you very much.
Yeah, that would be his brother. You know, him but angry and still a coward.
Anyways, curious, I opened the cover and read the first page. Why would the Royal Library have a book written in an ancient language? Because fuck you, that's why. It's a library.
I told you already, dear. It's the Necronomicon. Curious, I opened the cover and read the first page. This is an epic poem written by one of the elves. It tells the tale of King Canthar. That's a terrible name for a king. The last king of the elves. I took the book with me to a comfy armchair and started reading it as soon as I sat down. I read the book hungrily, going through at least 30 pages before Artie came for me for dinner. There's a lot about that bugged me. And since Tom is currently indisposed, do you want to do the next line?
Ah, fuck, he's indisposed. Where'd he go?
Well, if you look in the chat.
I can't read.
I noticed.
Aw, he's talking to his mom. Alright.
Oh, he's on the phone with his mom.
What you reading? He asked, sliding up to me and reading over my shoulder.
Please stop. A poem, I merely replied. Thanks, I noticed. Closing the book and starting to put the book back. You don't need to say the word book twice in the same sentence right there. If you just said, and starting to put it back, we would have realized it was the book and would have sounded less clunky.
Alright, but I gotta show people that I'm a master reader. They gotta know that I'm the best reader this side of the...
She's gotta show us that she's a good reader.
Yes, exactly.
I'm a good reader. Not a good writer, but a good reader.
Watch how good I read this book. Apparently Canthar was married to Maria. Or is that Marinara? Is that the joke I made
That's the
earlier?
one you've been calling Marinara, which I
Yeah,
thought was
Marinara.
supposed to be like the elf goddess, but apparently not. If someone, I don't know
Oh, are
anymore.
people marrying gods? Nice. And lived
That's
in
never
the
a good idea.
do Amir with her. Oh,
Do
please,
a
if you
mirror.
marry a god, it's just like you're a phase in her life. Who cares?
No. It's more just the fact that people who get in any sort of relationship with gods in most mythology tend to die very quickly.
Well, I mean, in their perspective, we all die quickly. Depending on the
Yes, but
mythology,
there's a
I
difference
guess.
between that perspective and all of a sudden having to deal with some angry nature thing killing you.
Well, then the gods should just watch their husbands and wives a bit better. It's 2020, I'm sure. It's 2020, it's not socially acceptable to kill a god's husband anymore. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but it just made
Yeah,
me.
stop turning Poseidon's side piece into a shrimp. It's getting really old. He doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Sure, he also is dating Aphrodite, but
Come on, you can't fault the person involved with that. Just blame it on Poseidon or whatever you said.
Poseidon's also married. So I guess it's an open relationship.
Yeah, maybe
Also
the gods
happens to
are.
involve Aphrodite,
Yeah.
aka the woman who once fed a man to his own horse because he turned her down.
Well, you see, she's not much better then.
No. She was also known for imprisoning people that were anywhere close to it as attractive as she was, which seems really counterintuitive for a goddess of beauty.
Only I can be the pretty one.
You'd think that she'd want to spread that around.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people just let pretty go to their head.
I mean, there is a reason why for the longest time she was a war goddess. That and the fact that she technically started the Trojan War.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Fun times.
But here's the real question. Does she like Trojan horse?
I mean,
I'm
I
leaving.
think she
It's fine.
stopped caring about the war at that before that point. It was more just like a whole thing of, yeah, I'm just gonna promise this princess from a rival kingdom to you. Have fun.
Hey, wait a second. We didn't agree to this.
You said you wanted the most beautiful human woman in the entirety of existence.
Well, that's the one. In the rival
Yep.
kingdom.
Now a
Have
war's
fun.
starting. Have fun.
All right, I'm gonna head out. Y'all have fun. I'll be back in 30 minutes, and if anything bad happened,
You and
leave.
all your friends will die horribly. Bye.
You just see her like sprinting across the like horizon. Just gotta get out here. Gotta get out here. Gotta get out of here.
Oh god. Afterwards.
How tall are those gods supposed to be? Like, legitimate question. Is there like a defined height for them?
Not usually, no.
I know they were just supposed to be taller, but what's like the maximum height of Zeus?
Well, it depends on the myth thing, because sometimes it wasn't that they were just taller.
Oh my, really?
Yeah, it depends on like the mythology. I mean, granted, there's also the whole thing that during the Gigantomancy or Gigantomachy, Poseidon apparently threw an island.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Athena also ripped a giant skin off, like all of it,
That sounds like cartoon slapstick.
with her bare hands.
Yeah, cartoon slapstick, dude.
Granted, it's also worth pointing out that Athena isn't exactly the goddess of wisdom, but instead the goddess of metis, which is more the whole thing of thinking quickly on your feet.
Metis? Like medicine?
No, metis. It's a Greek word that doesn't have an English equivalent. Kind of like how the German word Schadenfreude doesn't have an English equivalent.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, basically Metis was figuring out the right thing to do in the middle of a situation. And so she wasn't exactly a goddess of wisdom, she was just a goddess of thinking on her feet. Also
yes.
battle strategy.
That's
So
why I ripped someone off.
apparently in that situation, the right thing to do was rip off his skin.
I mean, it probably stopped him in his tracks.
Yes.
Then
I like to imagine that was the same one that got hit with an island.
Wow, just everyone doesn't like that guy or something. Like, fuck you in particular.
It's also worth noting that
by the
these
way.
giants were giant humanoids with snakes instead of legs. As in a snake for each leg.
What are we talking about?
The Gigantomachy.
Ah, okay.
AKA
sounds a
the
lot
thing
like
where Poseidon
Dynamaxing
threw an
gods.
island.
Mhm.
Well, it's not like those things were the gods. They were just what the Greeks referred to as giants.
Yeah, and that sounds like Gigantamaxy sounds like Dynamaxing.
God damn it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, that's why I said Gigantomachy. Not Maxi.
Yeah, I mean, Maki still kind of sounds like Dynamaxy.
Yeah, close enough.
Afterwards, I walked to the dining hall with Artie. The oak doors swung open. I gaped at the lavish dining hall.
The walls were a soft white with various draperies, each depicting men whom I guessed were the former kings of far, far away. The one closest to the head of the table showed King Harold, both as a frog and as a human. Oh yeah, that happened.
Yes.
Queen Lillian was already seated beside the head of the table.
Ah, you finally arrived. Please choose any seat that you want, Ava, and please ignore the librarian crawling around on the ceiling. The elderly queen greeted warmly.
I followed Artie to the head of the table and sat on his left-hand side. Soon, platters of food came out of the kitchen. A few platters had meat products, and I avoided them as I reached to help myself to the vegetable plates. As soon as we got what we wanted, a conversation started between Artie, the queen, and I.
The queen asked why I was leaving and the whereabouts I was planning on going. I told her, of course, and was thankful that she understood my reasons for leaving. After the main meal was done, the servers came back with various desserts, in which I happily ate all I could without getting sick. After the servers took our empty plates away, we happily conversed until I tried to stifle a yawn.
At which point the conversation immediately ended as they both stared at me, horrified. How could you? Well, I'm gonna wash up before I go to bed. Night, I said, pushing myself out of my seat and heading for the doors.
Careful that you don't fall down pushing yourself out of the seat. That sounds violent.
How the fuck do you get out of chairs?
Explosively!
You might want to get that checked by a doctor.
Yeah, they've checked that I have only got a few weeks to live.
Why don't you just try standing up out of the seat?
It's not as fun.
Well, if you're standing up, you're basically just pushing yourself upward using your thighs.
Well, yeah, I'm pushing myself up. I'm not pushing the seat.
Exactly. I never said pushing the seat.
Well, that's what, Tom was talking about, pushing the seat.
Into splinters.
Nah, my chairs are made of sterner stuff. By now, I've memorized...
They're still exploding.
And they reform right afterwards. By now, I've memorized the way to my room from practically anywhere in the castle.
I thought that said wait, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I thought we were done. There's just a stupid line here for no reason.
It's probably meant to be a transition.
Maybe?
Generally, that's what those are.
I wish I could highlight it, but I can't. I am so thankful for the elves' ability to see in the dark as I rounded the corner to a dimly lit hallway, the end of which is where my room is located at. Once I entered my room, I looked through the closet for a nightgown. When I found one, I carried it to the bathroom and started to run water for a bath. When the water was warm enough, I stripped down and gently lowered myself into the steaming water, sighing as the heat soothed my aching muscles. Once I was sure I was clean, I carefully stepped out of the cooling water and dried myself with a fluffy towel that was hanging on the rack. Wow, this is such a riveting story. I quickly dressed in the nightgown and brushed out my dripping wet hair before I stepped out of the bathroom, Placing my laundry in the basket beside the door, as soon as I finished my nightly routine, I collapsed into the soft bed and quickly fell asleep.
Why did she go into so much detail for that?
I don't know. All I'm thinking is I eat one potato chip or whatever. Just
I take this potato chip and eat it.
yeah, that.
Honestly, my immediate thought was just this one meme I saw about like people playing D&D. You notice that the area around you is cast in shadow. Just half the party. I have dark vision.
It's cast in shadow. Fireball.
Of course, the perfect solution. I can't see
Okay, I
anything.
guess that's for the other half of the party that doesn't have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
The next
Who needs
3
dark
days.
vision if everything's on fire.
The next 3 days pretty much went the same way as the first day. Every morning I woke up, washed up, ate breakfast with Artie and Queen Lily, and went out to the stables to ride Vaniata.
Is that the name she went with? I can't remember.
I don't want to remember. Help out around the stables. Not helped out. Help out around the stables. She's doing it in the present tense. Everything else is past tense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have nothing else to do. Go back to the castle and get cleaned up and spend time with Artie.
Yeah, that's the name.
God.
Oh,
Normally,
boy.
Artie wasn't done with his classes the queen made him take until I got back to the castle. Also, if you're planning on going on some like quest thing, you could at least like, I don't know, do practice with like your fighting. That'd be a way to pass the time.
Nah, she's an elf. She's naturally gifted. She doesn't need to practice.
Yeah, this is gonna be a thing where she's like, I'm losing a fight. It's rage mode time. I win.
Not even the fun kind of rage mode. Not even like a whole Super Saiyan thing where a whole bunch of shit gets destroyed as a result.
Wait,
Just people.
is Ava saying that she's not just an elf, she's an elf barbarian?
Well, that would explain her intelligence. And her bad attitude.
Everything makes sense now.
You okay there, Llytic?
Never.
I
Normally,
mean,
wait. Oops.
I'm just confused as to who's trying to, click the lock on their car to see where it was.
On the fourth day, however, I woke up at my normal time only to find a tunic and breeches laying on my dresser with a note on it. Sticking up and sitting up, and stretching my muscles, I ambled to the pile of neatly folded clothes and picked up the note.
Ava, I know tomorrow is when you're leaving, so I thought you might need some proper traveling clothes instead of a dress to wear. They're the finest quality I could find in your size, and I hope you will think of me on your travels. Artie.
Great! I'll grab my stuff!
And it'll make riding a horse easier at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Because pants.
Yes, instead of having to go side saddle.
I smiled softly at the note and carefully tucked it in the pile of clothes into my already prepared traveling bag in the corner. Artie gave me that yesterday with a similar note. Why not give it all at once? After rearranging some things to make everything fit, I changed into my old dark blue dress and did my morning routine. Heading downstairs afterward for some breakfast, I met Artie in the dining hall as he was just sitting down in front of his meal.
I swear out of the corner of my eye I saw the librarian, but I wasn't sure. He was scuttling along the wall.
That thing is always watching. Always watching us, Wazowski.
I'm
What would you
convinced
like
there's
from
more
the
than one.
library? Would you like to check out a book?
We're not in
Peace
the
and
library.
quiet.
Not yet. You will be eventually. They always are.
It's a common place to go, of course. Whatever.
Just her head turns 180 degrees.
Just the sound of like stone grinding.
Just no sound. Just whoop.
And then it turns a full 360 degrees. Like,
And then it just turns
pause.
another 360 degrees again and again, and she just turns into a top, and everything's cool.
Her breakdancing skills must be amazing. Just balancing on her head with her body slowly rotating. It's not like a fast 360-degree turn. It's slowly.
Just
Whoop, whoop. Morning, Artie. I yawned, taking my usual place at his left.
morning. Did you get my gift? He asked, going a bit pink before he took his first bite.
Do you have an issue with blood flow?
Possibly.
Yes, and thank you, I replied as the servant brought me my fruit salad and a fork to eat with. Also, when we were playing Monster Twister earlier today, Jess let out a burp that legitimately scared me.
Oh dear.
She does that sometimes.
It was scary and sudden.
She's done that a few times before, just D&D.
This is why soda's bad. Don't drink soda, kids.
Yeah, it's
Side the
terrible for your
queen sat
kidneys.
on.
Suggest the blood of your enemies instead?
No, it's salty. You'll just be thirsty afterwards.
I thought there was iron in blood, not salt.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I fucking knew it.
Hmm.
All right. Like medieval artwork and shit like that, typically, whenever you have the king and queen in the same picture, the queen would be seated to the left of the king. She has made sure to point out twice now that she is sitting on Artie's left side.
Oh, okay.
I knew she was fucking going somewhere with it. You don't point out something like that specific, at least typically if you're a half-decent writer, without there being some sort of importance to it.
Yeah.
And as much as I dislike this story, she is a half-decent writer as keeping everything, like, consistent, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been the whole thing of, like, it's been clear that this has been a weird sort of power fantasy.
A little bit, yeah.
And so the fact that she's specifically putting herself in the queen's seat seems to tie into that.
This
We didn't.
reminds me of like really self-serving like ichi manga and hentai kind of stuff where it's like, hello, it is me, the Lord of all demons. I could literally destroy your entire world in like a snap like Thanos. But I want to fuck you, but not just, not just take you to like, the bone zone for some reason, despite being, royalty myself and being able to destroy your planet. I'm going to be submissively to you, just like strangely submissive to you. Like it feels like that kind of story, right?
I mean, without the weird submission thing, and frankly, I prefer the weird submission thing to the ones where it does that with, like where it's a demon queen or something, and so just like this nobody male character is like, I, the queen, am going to submit to this dude. No fucking reason, really. He's just kind of cute.
Yeah, but I don't really get like Artie's just
a dude.
For lack of a better term, a beta cuck. And she's trying to make Ava seem super cool and, badass and stuff, but then she's doing stuff like this where she's on the left side of the king or whatever.
I mean, again, more going for that sort of thing. It doesn't seem that she wants her character to have power directly.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put it. Which
the berserk ability might suggest otherwise.
Yes, but there's a big difference between power in a fight and political power.
True.
So you're saying they're trying to beat Goku, the strongest around, and the only strength they want is physical strength, because we all know Goku's pretty dumb.
No. She wants political power. She just so happens to have physical power.
She wants, but then why is she leaving?
Because the writer's trying to force tension. That was obvious from the moment she said that her character, that she put the part of her character wanting to leave. It's like, oh, you're trying to force a will they, won't they into this.
Tension. Alright. State of being stretched. Alright, yeah, okay.
Like story tension, because the story needs tension. There needs to be conflict of some sort, but it's so goddamn forced because it feels unnecessary.
This tension was so bad I didn't even think it was tension.
Yeah.
I have felt no tension.
I've been reading worse. I could tell you of a story right now that has no tension.
You
know exactly which story I'm talking about, Tom.
I was afraid you would say that, yes.
Yeah.
Is it the story of my life?
No, it's the story of a sad loser who's in his 30s and trying to pick up teenagers.
I see. Alright. I have to get really far away from that, so let's just move on, please, so we can get back to normal.
Well, I've been trying to.
We did it.
No, it's my line. I keep getting interrupted.
Because most of the time...
I keep getting interrupted. We didn't say much as we dug into our respective meals. Finally said it. I tried to say it earlier, then you started talking again.
Artie got up as soon as he was finished and said, "Sorry, I gotta go, to class and stuff."
I nodded and called to his retreating back. Good luck.
Nice ass. The hall doors closed with a thud, and I was left alone with my thoughts and the librarian. As soon as I was full, I got up and exited the hall, making my usual way to the stables. When I finally reached the stables, the owner, Mr. Corin, and stablehand, Devin, were already waiting for me with... Vanyata. That's the only way I could pronounce that in which it sounds like an actual name. Already saddled. Because otherwise it would be Vanyata, which feels like a mouthful.
Well, to be fair, she does usually take the complicated route when it comes to names, so...
Are you going to read your line?
Oh, yes, it is my line.
Yes, Tom.
Okay.
I'm the tired one. Why are you guys so out of it?
No, I'm tired, too. Let's see. And she snorted. Is that it?
No. Hello, Ava.
Oh, okay. Hello, Ava. They greeted at the same time. Voniata nickering fondly at me.
Hello, Mr. Corin, Devin, Vignetta, I greeted, petting my horse affectionately.
Fucking hell. She snorted and nudged me with her nose.
Okay. I gotta...
Literally 2 lines below the last thing you read.
I know. I accidentally clicked off of... I clicked off the page. Hang on. All right.
Shit, Todd, did you stand up and explode your chair so hard you broke your computer?
No, you would have heard that. All right, I get it. I laughed as I placed my boot in the stirrup and hoisted myself onto the saddle.
Yeehaw. You gonna be alright?
In the back.
Devin asked, handing me her reins.
I nodded and said, "Yeah." Thanks for your concern. Yes, Queen Slay.
He only grinned and backed up as I touched my heels to Vanyata's belly.
Devin, a kind man, helped the animals out of love for them. He was the same person who helped me with Vendetta, I don't care.
V for Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Oh god, a bunch of fucking edgelords are gonna pop up now.
The one Artie doesn't like, right after the first day. Dev and I became fast friends, even though Artie still holds a special place in my heart. Dev and I may be friends, but Artie will forever be my best friend and first friend. I actually lost a friend because I didn't call them my best friend. No one will ever change that.
I don't exactly hold much care for how people rank other people.
I think it's because this person may or may not have had a crush on me, but probably not. That, like, I could get into this really, but I'm not sure if I want to right now, you know?
All right, no
Just-
worries.
Anyway, I led Vanyata to the front gate and carefully trotted her out into the small forest that Mr. Corin owns.
It's a nice day for some exercise, isn't it, Vanyata? I asked, getting a snort and a nicker in response.
She's taken to her new name quite well.
I really dislike how much she keeps using that word, because the YouTube algorithms are not forgiving.
What word?
It was in your last line. Starts
Oh,
with an
okay.
N, ends with er.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, the YouTube algorithms are not forgiving. We trotted over roots and small undergrowth for over an hour before I turned my mount's nose back the way we came and made our way back to the stable. Why the nose? That is an awkward phrase. Also, Zane, what are you slapping?
A butt.
Why?
Why not?
But does he have to do it while we're recording?
Yes.
Apparently he does.
This is the only time I have to clap these cheeks. When we finally reached the small dirt road that connected the forest to the stabled. You know what? At least the S and D keys are right next to each other. As opposed to your mind as well fuck-ups. I increased the pace slightly, like I always did before slowing down to a walk as we got to the gate. What? Why did you need to put the like I always did? Stopping in front of the stables, I dismounted her and got to work taking her tack off and cleaning the sweat that gathered on her neck off of her. When she was dry, I placed her back into her stall and stroked her neck as she ate some hay out of her manger.
Away in a manger.
She's eating the baby Jesus. Finally, we are free.
I made sure she was comfortable before exiting her stall in the stable to look for Mr. Corin. I found him out in the back exercising one of his other mares.
I've never seen anyone exercise a horse with his pants down before.
I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess.
Oh, you're back, Ava. Good, the elderly man called, bringing his mount over closer to me.
I thought that said ever closer to me. And I don't know why that made me so uncomfortable. Yeah, but I'm gonna stay today, sir. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'll be bringing Vanyata with me, sir. I replied somberly, earning a nod of understanding from the elderly man.
I understand, young'un. What time are you planning to leave? He asked.
Ah, yes. The appropriate medieval accent. There's gold in them nar hills.
Yes.
His nickname for me made me smile a bit as I stated, around noon.
High noon?
No. Low noon. Or Shanghai noon.
I can be your huckleberry. I think we could have her ready by then, he said with a nod. Where you want to meet us?
I paused for a second. I said, probably at the front doors of the castle.
Front of the castle. He smiled and then nodded towards the gate, saying, well, run along now and tell the king I said hello.
Well, being as he hasn't been, I'm pretty sure he hasn't been, fully, corrugated? That's not the right word.
Coagulated.
There's a word. Coronated. That's it.
Ah, there we go.
Not corrugated.
Coagulated.
He's been turned into a metal sheet that is folded. Yeah.
Sheet. Here we go again.
Like, has he been officially coronated? Because that would make him king. Otherwise, he's just a prince.
I think
the king is still dead.
I don't know. I've never seen Shrek 3 or whatever.
Shrek the Third.
Yeah.
Smiling widely, I nodded my thanks to Mr. Corrin and said, I will have a nice day.
You will have a nice day. And all I heard as I started down the dirt driveway was him chuckling and muttering about us kids.
Please tell me that's not a line.
No, it's a line.
Dirt driveway? Driveway? Driveway!
It's Shrek.
Nodding, I placed the peel into the trash and No.
As soon... Where the fuck are you?
As soon as I got to the castle, I decided to stop by the kitchen for a snack before dinner. Wandering the familiar path through the halls, I opened the door to a bustling kitchen. One of the chefs took notice of me and smiled widely. I think he wanted to cook me in one of his meals.
Hey, how are you doing, Ava? He called, not moving towards me, whoops, after picking up an orange and throwing it at me at full speed.
Bam.
High speed. Dead.
Yeah, Kelly knows exactly why I'm here.
Nothing bugs me more about the dialogue right now than how often she goes, yeah. Not yeah. Yeah.
Y-A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeet. Is it my line again already, guys?
I'm about to yeet you into space.
Hey, if you yeet me into space, then I don't have to read, so go ahead.
Hey, we're almost done,
more
Zane.
problems than that.
You say we're almost done, but my counter argument is there's another chapter.
Yeah, we're almost done.
We'd be further along if people weren't getting distracted.
Also, what the fuck? There's literally a line that said also. What do you mean you can't show me where the fuck also is in here?
I caught
the fruit and started peeling it as I said, oh, okay. Fuck. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah, there we go.
Are you okay there, Ava? I think I'm having a stroke.
And now I am dead.
Oof.
Right. Whoops. Me.
Yes.
She leaned against the counter and said, so, I hear you're leaving tomorrow, huh?
Nodding, I placed the peel into the trash and carefully tore the fruit into sections.
And I bet someone's not happy about it, like our dear king, for example. She said with a knowing smirk.
No one else, though. The rest of us are happy to see you go.
Jeez, harsh.
The only reason you're still in this castle is because the king likes you.
Hooray for elf racism. Get them out of this land.
I was just meaning that she's a poorly written character, but okay. I choked on the section of orange. The orange slice?
I mean, that can happen.
Is that what you mean? Section of orange is just a terrible phrase. I just swallowed and had to pound on my chest to get it to go down. Kelly started to roar with laughter as I straightened up with a red face.
I hate you, I mumbled as I left the kitchen with my orange.
The feeling is mutual.
Okay, so apparently a section is a proper term to not to describe a part of an orange, but like when you're cutting an orange, you can call it sectioning an orange.
That doesn't make the phrase section of orange any less awkward.
It's still awkward, but that's probably where she's getting it from.
Because, well, she says she tore the fruit into sections.
Yeah, a section of orange.
Language goes towards what is the most convenient and concise to say. Why use much word when few word do trick?
That's how conversations normally
It's Zane's
end.
line.
Oh, okay.
That's how.
This is how we do it. That's how our conversations normally end.
I thought you read your line, Llytic. I apologize. I'm a little out of it today.
I did read my line. It was I choked on the section of orange.
But I thought you read one after that.
Wait, wouldn't that be his line next then?
Zane, for the love of God.
What?
No. It's
I read my line, then Tom read his line, and then waited on you to read your line. I'm
And
now
I
about to read my line.
And I thought while we were waiting for you to read your line, I thought you had, and then Llytic had read his own line, so I was confused.
I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
You never do. Quickly finishing my orange, I licked the sticky juice off my fingers before opening the door to my room. I properly washed my hands in the bathroom, then slumped onto the chair, turning on the radio afterwards. So did you get up from the chair and turn on the radio, or what was it?
Psychic energy.
Oh, so she's a Stephen King character, got it.
Yes.
Glancing at the clock, I figured I still had about an hour left, an hour before Artie got done with his classes. I listened to the music for a bit, then got up and moved towards my full pack, taking my maps out and spreading them out onto my desk. Over the last few days, I had marked the old map with some newer labels from the newer map. You know, this does kind of sound like a bag of... this does kind of read like a sentient bag of cocaine wrote a good portion of it.
Glancing over the new map, I paused as I noticed something I hadn't before. Shrek and Fiona's swamp was only about 50 miles from the southern edge of the Duamir. Perhaps I should make stop there sometime. Taking out my quill and ink, I labeled the swamp and let it dry before rolling both maps up and securing them back into my pack. As soon as I put my pack in its place, my door opened and Artie came inside, closing it after himself.
Haven't you learned how to knock, boy?
Hey, how's class? I asked, smirking as I folded up my arms across my chest.
Ugh, don't even speak to me about that cruel torture Aunt Lillian calls class, he groaned, flopping onto my eyes.
Okay there, Llytic.
Fuck.
It's okay, dude. Just breathe.
Flopping onto my bed and closing his eyes in bliss. Sorry, I suddenly got a really weird mental image because of my dyslexia.
Chuckling at his discomfort, I sat beside him and ruffled his golden hair affectionately.
Freds!
Hey, just be glad it's over for today, I soothed, smirking when he opened up a single eye to glower at me.
Swear, the only way this shit is platonic if it's a historian talking about two people of the same sex. I guess Aunt Lillian said that I could have the day off tomorrow. For obvious reasons, he said a bit sadly.
Sighing, I leaned back on my hands and stared up at the ceiling.
Stared,
I know.
Stared will be 2 hours.
Yes, I knew that.
Please, let's not talk about this again and let's just enjoy what time we have left together, I stated after a few minutes.
Before we all die. The end is coming inevitably. Memento mori. All right, I heard after a few minutes.
Probably be. All right. No, hang on. That was your line. Smiling in satisfaction, I asked, so how was your day?
I groaned, answered the question more than words could.
The chuckle, I said, I'm guessing boring and tedious, huh?
Another groan answered that.
I laughed harder at that. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Top comedy. as opposed to top comedy, which is about power tops. Don't laugh at me, he stated playfully, a grin spreading across his face.
And why not? It's fun seeing you suffer, I answered cheerfully.
Okay, we now know who tops.
I mean, it was kind of obvious from the beginning, but okay.
Artie's a power bottom.
He glared at me playfully, only to be ignored.
Yeah. And I'll laugh and pick on you when you suffer. Just you wait. Yes, we know already. Artie has a humiliation kink.
I smirked and crossed my legs.
Well, I'm waiting.
Yeah. A smirk formed on Artie's face, but he didn't move otherwise. After that, we just talked and joked around until dinner. And then we got up and moved our joking to the dinner hall. That bugs me. And sat with us at the table. You sat with yourselves?
Yeah, you didn't read that wrong. That's
And sat with us at the table. When I finally bid the Queen and Artie good night, it was almost bedtime. I sighed as I closed the door to my room and thought about what was coming up.
Spirits, why did you have to make this day go by so fast? I asked into the thin air.
Time flies when you don't have a personality.
Where does time go? Right out the window.
Time doesn't exist.
Not expecting an answer, I crossed my room to the bathroom and did my nightly routine before sliding under the covers. After blowing out the candle that was on my nightstand, I sighed and closed my eyes, letting myself slip into oblivion.
Author's note: next chapter is when Ava's gonna leave. Again, please review. It makes me happy, and I gives you more chapters and some virtual dessert. I am going to smash your face into this chocolate pie.
Cream pie to the face. Classic joke.
No, I don't know how old this person is, and I shouldn't do that anyway without their consent.
I walked right
Do a
into
mirror,
that
the Swan Brook. Sorry I didn't define this. I was half asleep when I posted the chapter that introduced it, and I was too lazy to fix it. I don't own Shrek 3 or its characters. I only own Ava and any other OC there is in here. Meerkat Girl 13.
So what was that dude who she mentioned made a big deal about the author's note before? Cantor or whatever his name was, or
King Canthor.
Canther. Yeah.
AKA the worst king name in existence. Apparently he was the king of the elves and apparently married to like that elf goddess.
Oh
elf
yeah,
mother, whatever the fuck she was. I thought she was supposed to be like some elf mother nature goddess, but now I'm not so sure.
Author's note. Well, this is the chappy.
You read that.
This is the chappy where Ava leaves. Thank you, PCA student, Chipette Star, Queen of Hearts, Platinum Gal, and Kitty Cat Girly XXX for reviewing. I love you guys. Desserts for everyone who reviews. So please read and review and have a great day. Well, at least she's positive and not saying don't flame type thing.
I forced myself up when my alarm woke me up.
You missed that. You missed the update.
Alright. Update on that day. I have deleted the other chapters following this. As of today, they will be in a separate fic called Rest Claim and Remember Me.
Rest Calm.
Which is Ava's journey to find out where she came from. This is now a completed fiction. I probably will be making changes to the story to make it read better sometime in the future. Thanks to everyone who favored, followed, reviewed, and just took the time to read this fic. It truly means a lot to me. See you in the next chapter, repeated on the bottom.
I forced myself up when my alarm clock woke me up. Okay, leave off the second up. Groaning, I rolled myself out of bed and stretched like I did every morning. Why did you need to specify that?
But this isn't any day.
Today's the
actually
day I
Monday.
leave on my journey to find my past. I rush through my morning routine. This time I dressed in the tunic and breeches from Artie's instead of a dress. After tucking my blue dress into the pack in the place of my traveling clothes, I stood up and looked at myself in the mirror. The tunic was forest green, while the breeches were a dark brown. The tunic was oddly loose on me. Glancing around, I spotted a leather belt and quickly attached that around my waist. There, that's better. Now the bottom of the tunic makes a small skirt. After looking at my reflection one last time, I sat down on my bed and watched the sky lighten.
There's something about that series of sentences that just seems wrong. Not there, I thought to myself, now the bottom of this tunic makes a small skirt, or even just that italicized. That would have worked better. Soft knocks sounded on my wooden door before it opened, and Artie came in, taking his place beside me on the bed.
So today's the day, huh? He asked quietly, knowing as well as I did that it was indeed that day. Stop saying that day!
I nodded
But
and
it's that
sighed,
day.
leaning my head on his shoulder as we watched the sun paint the sky light blue, pink, orange, and yellow. Artie only sighed and wrapped his arm around my shoulders, pulling me towards him a bit. We stayed like that until the sun was in a finger's width above the horizon.
Ah, friends. Platonic friends.
I mean, no. Again, the archaeologist comparison would only work if they were both like women or both men. Shall we get something to eat? Artie asked jokingly as their stomachs rumbled at the same time.
In two-part harmony.
Oh.
I nodded and giggled, reluctantly pulling away from his warmth and standing up. We walked together to the dining hall and sat in our normal spots. Almost as soon as we sat down, the servants came out and served us our favorite foods. The discussion between my best friend and I was light and cheerful with a hint of sadness and sorrow. After we ate until our bellies were full, we took a walk around the outside of the castle and sat underneath a tree in the small forest I found on the first day. In the cool shade, we just relaxed and carefully watched the sun rise up towards its peak. An urge in my bladder had me standing up and quickly heading towards the castle.
Hey, where are you going? Artie called, still sitting under the tree.
Bathroom was my short answer as I made my way around the corner and into the castle's bathroom.
Soon,
It's a weird scene.
as soon as I washed up, I had an idea. Quickly walking out of the lavish bathroom, I headed towards the royal florist. She was located towards the back of the castle. When I pushed the heavy oak door open, I was assaulted by the earthy yet spicy smell of plants in all different stages of their lives. A woman in her mid-40s came gliding towards me.
Ah, spicy. Therefore, we know it's not in England.
No, it's in far, far away.
Well, now we know that far, far away is not in England because there is spice.
Okay.
Hello, what can I help you with? She asked in a dreamy voice.
Hello, I was wondering if you could tell me the meaning of a few of my favorite flowers and if I could buy some of them. I asked, earning a knowing grin from the woman.
Ah, you want to buy some flowers for your lover? Certainly, I will be happy to help young love blossom. Come with me and I'll explain everything you want to know about, she stated, making me blush as she turned to lead me down a row of beautiful plants.
Oh my god, they were
The
just
azalea, she
roommates.
stated when we reached a beautiful light pink flower with 5 petals per blossom. It means take care of yourself. It's a good flower to give when you or they are leaving for a time.
It's amazing that that's the one you started with, ma'am. AKA the most fitting one.
She's a wizard. She knows.
She's a wizard, Harry. Why are you telling me this?
Smile, so she already knows, technically.
Well, there's a difference between, you're getting these for whoever you're dating, and you see, this one is for when you're leaving for a time. I can tell that you're planning that by your pants. Like, there's a big difference between this and that.
Muck use acid.
What?
I'm playing Pokemon.
Of course you are. You know, if it weren't for the fact that both of you said that you don't care about getting paid, that would be why you wouldn't be getting paid.
Hmm.
She continued down the row, listing their names and what they mean.
The
The gardenia.
Yeah, there we go. The gardenia. We stopped at a pure white flower that looked soft to the touch with the center petals curled up tightly like a rose but different. It means I love you in secret. You should give this to the one you fancy.
I hate
We
this.
moved on to the second row. Going down the opposite way we went down the first row.
Pink Heather, she murmured. Speak the fuck up. Fingering a stem absolutely covered in dark pink bulb-shaped blossoms. This one means good luck.
With a small smile, the woman continued down the line.
The purple lilac. She stopped and bent down to smell the small purple bunches of four-petaled flowers. This one I will never forget. First love. M.
She stopped herself short and dabbed her eyes with her sleeve.
Are you all right? I asked worriedly.
Yes, thank you for your concern. It's a personal matter, that's all, she assured, composing herself surprisingly fast.
Wait, why does she know the florist?
Maybe the florist knows her, but she doesn't know the florist.
Does she visit the royal florist often?
It's possible. She is an elf after all, and apparently she's being an elf
What does
stereotype.
that have to do with anything?
She's being an elf stereotype too. Elves like nature, stereotypically.
There's a difference between nature and a flower shop. A flower shop is nothing like nature. If anything, an elf that's doing a stereotype thing would probably avoid a flower shop because that's a mockery of nature. It's
Maybe.
literally a whole bunch of dying plants. None of them are alive. They're just in the final stages of... they're just in the stages of decomposition. Because they've all been cut.
Okay.
Again, someone that loves nature probably wouldn't be in there.
But what if it's like an actual garden, like a freaking what's the botanical garden?
You mean a botanical garden?
Yes. What if it's
Well, that's not what was stated.
Well, this
Instead
is the
of a flower
flowers
shop.
for the kingdom. It's not a flower shop. They're still inside the castle. This is probably just a castle gardener and all their personal stuff.
The way they're doing it makes it sound
Also,
like
I'm pretty sure if somebody was in here to give flowers to someone, we've already established that this probably isn't the right way to do it for an elf, but who cares, because Ava's not even a good elf.
I get the feeling that the writer's the kind of person that would make it to where merfolk are terrified at the prospect of eating fish.
Possibly.
I hate how often that trope comes up, because it's like, what the fuck do you think they eat?
Seaweed.
No.
And coral.
Carl!
Coral
Thank
is terrible
Carl!
to eat. You're basically just eating bones.
They ate Carl, no.
That would destroy your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones that could do that would be like merfolk that are in fact actually just a parrotfish.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking line are we on? Zane, what was the last line you read?
M.
Okay, then it would be your line right now, because I read the line after that, and Tom read the line after that.
Alright, I think, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yes, thank you for your concern. It's a personal matter, she assured, composing herself surprisingly fast. I think I did read that one.
So I nodded and gazed around the flowers and plants spread before me, each having their own beauty to them.
So, young Ava, are you decided? She asked, startling me when she called me by name.
But then again, almost everyone in the entire castle knows about me and my accomplishments.
You
What
mean
a
the murders? So other than that, I can't think of anything.
Or this woman is just a wizard. I mean, that's also a possibility.
I mean, unless they were some pretty interesting murders. Also, I'm pretty sure that you just specifically looked up flowers that had the exact symbolisms you were looking for instead of just general flower symbolisms. Being as the only ones you mentioned were ones that were specific to the character situation.
Just makes it a little bit more concise and doesn't take up space with useless words.
Yes, but it does kind of take you out of the story when the immediate first one is, this is the flower you give someone if you're going to be going away for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
well, let's keep reading because we're almost done.
But then again, wait, I think I'll take the Azalea, Gardenia, Pink Heather, and the Purple Lilac, I stated, pointing to the ones I wanted. With the fact that, like...
The one she just said?
Yes. What would have worked better is if you would not actually use the line of dialogue, but instead just said, I told her which flowers I wanted, being as all the flowers you would have wanted were the specific ones that were pointed out in the story. You do not want to repeat information.
A soft smile lit the older woman's face.
Wait, yes.
As she took some shears and carefully cut a few flowers off of each plant.
Okay, I guess they were planted.
Do you want a ribbon to keep these together? She asked when she finished with the plants.
Sure. Because it was, let's see, looking up, headed towards the Royal Florist, just located towards the back of the castle. Not in the castle garden, just the back of the castle.
Poor writing. What else is new?
Yeah, it's the fact that both too much and not enough information is given, because the information that is given is repeated endlessly, but the information that would actually be helpful is never stated. Whole thing of the Royal Florist. Okay, typically a florist is someone who arranges and sells flowers. This seems more like a royal gardener.
I mean, you can be both, probably.
Do you want a ribbon to keep... Wait, no, you read that. I thought about and then asked, what colors do you have?
She listed off almost every color of the rainbow.
So less than 7. Or 8. Roy G. Biv. 7.
I even have a ribbon that has red, green, and blue on it, she stated, moving to get it when I nodded my approval.
Oh god, those colors are supposed to be important, are they? Aren't they?
Maybe.
I guess the blue's your dress. What the fuck is the red and green?
Blood.
Is the green
Blood
Shrek? Blooded Shrek. Blood Shrek and me.
Hey. The woman carefully tied the ribbon around the 4 plants and handed them to me.
How much do I owe you? I asked, half dreading the price tag on these beautiful flowers.
To my surprise, she waved her hand dismissively and said, "Oh, this is on the house. Not only do I want you to help young love." Okay, so I guess she's doing not her own love, someone else's young love. But I know who these flowers are for. Go ahead. You'll pay me by producing beautiful children I could give presents to. Ma'am, you are way too concerned about the sex lives of 2 teenagers. Please stop.
Her mini speech made me go as red as the pink heathers I held in my hand as I exited with a murmur, "Thank you."
My immediate reaction would be like, you know what? I don't need the flowers. Bye. Why are you so invested in my sex life?
I rushed to my room and dug out one of the ink paintings I did on my first day and rushed right back out. this time heading for Artie's room. I've been to his room to hang out a few times before, so I knew the way there pretty well. After I opened the grand doors to his room, I quickly scurried to his neatly made bed and carefully set the painting down on the spotless white pillows and placed the small bundles of flowers on top of it.
I took one last look at the paintings on the bed. It shows Artie and I under our favorite tree back at Worcestershire. Both of us laughing and having a good time before class started again. I have a copy of this painting packed in my bag. I'm sorry, what? I'm gonna say it, typically for paintings, it's pretty goddamn hard to just duplicate that.
Well, I mean, if it's her own painting, I mean, yeah, it's still hard, but at least she can get the style down type thing.
Probably just looks close enough.
That bugs me. Yeah. Scurrying out as fast as I came in, I saw I only had maybe 2 more hours before I had to leave. Running as fast as I could without tripping, I rushed back out the front doors and into Artie, who was just coming in. Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh shit was all I could say before I slammed into his body.
It's a good thing we landed on the unnaturally soft grass that grew along the border of the forest. Otherwise, I might have accidentally broken some bones on both Artie and myself.
That's why you don't run in the castle, Artie groaned, glaring at me from his position on his back.
I don't know if I was relieved that we were both okay or if I was still high on adrenaline, but I busted out in mad giggles that soon spread to Artie. We rolled in the grass for a good 10 minutes before we could regain a shred of control and sat up.
What took you so long anyways? Artie asked, wiping tears from the mirth of his eyes.
Why did you leave the K off of took? Author, I need to know why. How do you miss that? Like, that's not easy to miss. Or not hard to... Wait.
That's not hard to miss. You were right the second time.
Yeah, that's not hard to miss, author. What took you so long? I had things to do, replied, hoping he would leave it at that.
What things? He asked, smirking. Is there something you're not telling me, Ava?
My entire body tensed up at that comment. Oh no, I'm so tense-filled.
Oh. No, what makes you think that? I asked, feigning innocence and playing with a strand of my hair nervously.
One, you're playing with your hair, something you do when you're nervous. Two, your entire body is tensed up, he stated nonchalantly, gazing at his nails and looking into my eyes.
Damn it, he knows me too well.
Oh my god, they're just roommates. Taking a deep breath, I said, well, honestly, I'm hiding a few things from you, but I'm sure you're hiding things from me, so we're even.
Now it was his turn to tense up.
Oh god, she knows about what I've been searching.
Smirking triumphantly, I turned to glance at the sun. Noting I only have less than an hour left, I sighed and stood up. Helping Artie up as well, we wandered back to the castle for a quick lunch. The discussion was light and cheery as it could get as Artie, the Queen, and I sat down to eat.
I hate the fact that she doesn't put another comma there after the Queen. As soon as we were done, the Queen sent a servant to get my bag down from my room. We all got up and headed out to the front doors, where another servant had my bow, quiver, and sword ready. I strapped my weapons onto my figure. Weird wording. And waited patently for my bag?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like.
For some odd reason, Artie was fidgeting nervously. It couldn't be because he had to go to the bathroom. He just went during lunch.
You okay there, Llytic?
No.
Well, it's okay. We're almost done.
Yeah, I know. I've just been carrying this thing. Ay. My attention turned to the servant when he brought my bag. I really disliked the way that he moved in the same manner as the librarian. Perhaps he was related to her.
Thank you, I said sweetly, slinging the fine waterproof leather over my shoulder and glancing around at the people around me.
The Queen sighed and asked, "Shall we move this outside?"
I nodded, and the small group moved outside of the castle doors where Devin and Mr. Corin was already waiting with Vanyata already saddled. Sighing, I turned and hugged the Queen.
Hail Hydra, I whispered. Thank you for your hospitality, I whispered to the elderly woman.
Hail Fairy Godmother. Also, she's not that old.
She only smiled and gently pulled back.
I briefly hugged Devin and shook Mr. Corin's hand before turning to Artie and asked, Artie, will you walk with me to the gates?
He nodded and followed me when I took Vanyata's reins from Devin and stated towards the gates. We walked in a somber silence until we were at the dreaded structures of metal.
Well, this is it, I murmured, turning to Artie with a sad look in my eyes.
I think I've noticed that the thing is that she starts doing prose that could lead somewhere interesting, but fails to put any emotion into it, and so it just comes out like, why did you do that? Like, you could have took dreaded structures of metal somewhere, but you just cut it off there.
That metal is scary.
Well, this is it, I murmured, turning to Artie with a sad look in my eyes.
This is it, he echoed, moving forward and wrapping me up in a powerful...
I felt hot tears start to run down my cheeks, and I felt small droplets of moisture on my back. As we parted, I gently pecked him on his cheek, and he slipped something into my hand.
It was his dick.
They're teenagers, dude. Come on.
What?
They're teenagers, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry. Somebody has to be
Hang
making
on a
jokes here. I don't see either of you doing it. I looked down and gasped at the object in my hands. It was a necklace, but it had a silver three-pointed never-ending knot as a pendant. You mean a Valknut? You know, the Norse thing that symbolized Odin.
Zokin sends his regards.
At the lower 2 points, 2 gemstones hung on a chain. One in deep amethyst and the other a forest green emerald, the exact colors of our eyes.
Oh, how pretty.
That's... No, wait, no, that wouldn't be the... Okay, there's the green.
Rendered speechless, I looked up into his eyes and enveloped him in another hug. Because we're friends. Platonic friends. The embrace conveyed things words couldn't even begin to describe.
I will miss you so much, my dear friend, he whispered into my long ear as we parted.
That was a weird time to break up your elf ears. I will miss you too, friend of my heart, I responded into his short ears, handing him the necklace and turning around.
Fucking round ears.
Can't fucking stand the bastards.
Will you put it on me? I asked at his confused expression.
I think it would look better on you, Artie.
He chuckled weakly, and I felt cool metal sliding over my bare skin. I felt his fingers fumble away with the clasp for a few seconds before his warmth faded away as he stepped back. My fingers immediately reached up to touch the cool silver pendant as I turned around.
Fucking hell. Atra esterne. Ono felduin arti finearel. Finearel. I murmured as I pecked him on the cheek again, like a bird. He was bleeding.
Just kiss, you dorks.
Technically, they did, or she did.
Yes, that's fuck you, Llytic.
Go fuck me yourself, you coward.
No. Atragulia un ilian talther ono un atra on wysis scolosis brawather. He whispered as he took my hand.
Scoliosis.
He whispered as he took my hand and squeezed it briefly before helping me mount Vanyata.
With one last long look at Artie, I touched my heels to Vendetta's belly, and she trotted through the gates and into town. The gray buildings soon gave way to brown and green trees as I quickly rode down the path out of town and into the forest.
As opposed to those red and blue trees. Well, this is where my old life ends and the new journey begins for both Artie and I.
So that freaking gibberish ancient language thing we said meant, may good fortune rule over you, honored Artie. And he said, may luck and happiness follow you, and may you be shielded from misfortune, honored Ava. Directly ripped from freaking Aragon.
Yes, we already know that the elven language he's been using is the one from Aragon. I'm more pissed off at how she spelled honored.
I mean...
Look at it.
I just X'd it off, hang on.
Honored.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Honored Artie. Honored Ava.
Honored, Lord of the Honorods. I don't fucking know, I'm tired.
Honored. But yes, at some point we're gonna have to do that rest, calm, and remember me thing.
Will we?
Yes, Tom.
Damn it.
You dense fuck. Special thank you to Jillian A. and Destiny Baird for supporting us on Patreon. If you'd like a shout out either verbally or on screen now, consider going to the description and donate, clicking the link to visit our Patreon. You can get me to say your name for as little as $5 a month or get your name on screen for as little as $1.
Thank y'all very much. We love you very much. It's very useful.
Thank you, you pulchritudinous lovelies.
There we go.
Meet me by the river. It's time. We will rise tonight.
Rising to the moon.
Take my horse down the old town road.
Pikes will be together.
Right.